Thanks for joining us. I hope you get yourself comfortable, curl up in your favorite chair with your blanket and your pillow, because we're going to read No Dragons for Tea. It's one of my favorite fire safety books, and it's for kids and dragons. So here goes. One warm sunny day at the end of last week, my mom and I went for a walk to the creek. As I raced down the hill in my little red wagon, I veered to the left and smacked into a dragon. I suppose he could see there was fear in my eyes as I jumped to my feet quite filled with surprise. He sheepishly grinned and got out of the way, but he seemed so polite that I asked him to play. He had a cute bear and some other toys too. With my shovel and pail we'd have oodles to do. We ran to the creek and then on to the bay, where we played in the sand for the rest of the day. Then Mom waved and said, "Now it's time to go eat. Let's pack up the wagon and head up the street." It's hard to stop playing with friends old and new, so I asked if the dragon could come to eat too. Mom wrinkled her brow and squinted her eyes, looking up at the dragon's incredible size. I begged and I pleaded and I said very sweet, "We won't make a mess, we'll be tidy and neat." So at last she said, "Yes, just this once I'll agree. You may have the dragon come over for tea." We had carrots and apples, thick slices of ham, with fresh homemade pickles and strawberry jam, cold glasses of milk and a great big dill pickle, but the pepper I sprayed sure made my nose tickle. Then the dragon's eyes twitched and he started to wheeze. His eyes misted up and he blew a great sneeze. Achoo! Well, we all know what happens when dragons achoo. Flames shot from his mouth and from both nostrils too. Our tablecloth sparked and burst into flame, and the curtains that hung right beside did the same. The smoke alarm rang. What a loud, piercing sound! It means get out fast, so I dropped to the ground. The room filled with smoke as I crawled on the floor, and I started to make my way to the door. The dragon got scared and decided to hide, but I knew when there's fire, we must get outside. I grabbed his thick tail, and with one mighty tug, I pulled that big dragon from under the rug. I crept down the hallway and said, "Follow me, I know the way out, we must meet by the tree." So Mom and the dragon and I all met there. Then that silly old dragon went back for his bear. We ran up and caught him and said, "Listen, dragon, here's what you should know. Don't ever go back, that just will not do. We can get a new bear, but we can't replace you." Since the fire was burning inside of our home, we went to the neighbors to borrow the phone. Mom knew what to dial and said calm and clear, "Here's our street address, send the fire trucks here." Before very long, down our street they came sailing, with red lights flashing and loud sirens wailing. The crew rushed to start work on their tasks. They were dressed in big boots and wore helmets and masks. They hooked up the hose and ran into the house, where they sprayed streams of water in order to douse the table, the curtains, our lovely snack too. It didn't take long before the fire was through. The fire chief called out the door with a shout, "The smoke made a mess, but the fire is out." My poor friend the dragon knew he was to blame, so he hung down his head and wept great tears of shame. One of the fire crew said, "Don't be sad. You knew what to do, and of that we're quite glad. You all got out safely. That's really what matters." Then she took us to see the big pump truck and ladders. The dragon put on a shiny red hat, and I asked to see where the fire crew sat. She showed us the siren, the hoses and lights, and the ladders they climb up to reach higher heights. The rest of the fire crew checked all the rooms, while a fan in the door blew out gray smoke and fumes. Then the dragon and we sat down for a while. I reached up and hugged him. He gave me a smile. The next time the dragon and I want to play, we'll pack up a picnic and head to the bay. We are friends tried and true, the best we can be, but I'll never again invite a dragon for tea.